thing.
Yeah, no, I gotta talk close. You're live.
All right, welcome back to the Black Summit. I'm Brooks,
I'm Hendrix.
and today we are going live. We just kind of wanted to put something together quick. Um, but yeah, what are we talking about today?
So we got the protest. Oh, I'm sorry. So we're going to be talking about the protests, what against ICE in California, the big melee and what's all going on with that. So I'm sure some of you guys have heard about that, and then also the BET Awards. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched the
The
clips.
clips.
Yeah, I don't have cable, so I can't really sit down
So
and watch the
so you
the
saw the
BT Awards.
stream with Kai Cenat.
Yeah,
It's
I watched some
funny.
of that. So
It's funny you say that. Some people were saying that a lot of young people didn't watch BT like that. Like you said, they don't have cable.
yeah,
They were saying that some people didn't know about it until Kai Cenat streamed it or to TikTok.
I feel like they didn't put anything out to let people know that it was happening. So
Yeah,
that's
they
kind of
probably
why I
didn't do.
missed out
They,
on it.
they probably didn't do
So
a whole lot of advertising like they normally do.
yeah,
But yeah, I think that's a good thing. They should let Kai Cenat stream because he gets so much people on his stream, man.
yeah.
But real quick first,
Yeah,
let's
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 talk
jump
about
into
the LA
the LA
protest.
protest
We
real
got some
quick.
updates on that, so
Yeah,
go ahead
so
and update
so
us.
I'm gonna read this real quick. And this is from AP, right? So this is out like 9 minutes ago. So the live updates: Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass urges Trump administration to stop ICE raids. So says during a press conference Wednesday in LA, Mayor Karen Bass called the raids in Southern California a provocation by the White House and urged Trump administration to stop them. Bass was joined by mayors from across the region, several of whom said they were immigrants. So and also, so what we know, so it says the National Guard was helped to detain civilians in LA. Major General Scott Sherman, the commander in charge, said the Guard quickly turned detainees over to law enforcement. So far, about 500 National Guard troops have been trained to accompany agents on immigration operations, said Sherman.
Thank you for the likes.
Yeah, so and then a marked shift
I
and
see you, Angie.
escalation of their initial duties of secure federal property during protests, and then the National Guard in Texas. So this thing apparently they're trying to gear up for Texas. They think the same thing happened in Texas as well, which I didn't even know
Okay.
about. Did you know about
I didn't
Texas?
know anything about the
So
Texas
okay, so
thing.
check this out.
So
So it's saying about Texas, the National Guard in Texas, Republican Governor Greg Abbott's office said Tuesday night that the National Guard troops were on standby
okay,
after police in Austin used chemical irritants to disperse several hundred demonstrators on Monday. San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg said city officials did not ask the guard to be deployed to the city. Now,
okay,
Los Angeles has a curfew. So, Mayor Karen Bass said that an overnight curfew for downtown neighbors will remain in effect indefinitely. She said officials would consider lifting the curfew if there were fewer arrests when it takes effect again Wednesday night.
all right.
So that's the latest what's going on currently right now on the ground in the streets in LA. What you think about that, man? Cause that's your hometown.
I
Would you be
mean, I
out
think
there?
it's kind of crazy what's going on in LA, and I personally, I mean, I side with the protesters, and I know a lot of people feel some type of way about that, but to me, um, I'm going off of just what I see
Mm,
and knowing that some of these people have been here for years. A lot of them are dreamers. Okay, you're going after people who have been here, who have lived their life here, who pay taxes. Okay, a lot of them are dreamers. You cannot just go after anybody. Okay, I get some people feel like, hey, like these people are breaking the law or whatever, being here illegally. But the people who were brought here, okay, by their family, okay, I feel like those people have the right to be here and nobody should be messing with them. And not only that, I feel like they're just going out and grabbing anybody, and that I can't agree with. I'm sorry, I don't know, I don't care where you stand on the political field, you cannot just go and start picking up people and taking them away. They're going to Home Depots, picking up people. They're going to like people's place of work. They're talking about people. I don't know how true all of this is, but you cannot just do that. I mean, that's where I stand personally. And as
Mm.
somebody from LA, my heart breaks because it's hard to differentiate people, from each other because there are so many people there who were brought over years ago and who have started their lives here, who have a family here, who they've had kids here, and so that's the way I feel about it. But what do you think?
So now, what do you say about? And I get what you're saying, but some people might have been over here, but yet they still consider it illegal.
Yeah,
Now, remember now, and previous podcast posts, you were saying that they need to do it the right way.
yeah.
So, what do you say to that, though?
Well, I mean, like, listen, I mean, I know that I feel like the people who were came over here, like there was 10 million of them or whatever.
Mm.
That's the conservative amount, right? There was like 10 million that were brought over here, like in the past, like 2 or 3 years, under like the previous administration. Like, I think about those people as somebody that you can possibly say, okay, well, they came over here illegally, blah, 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 blah. But the people who have been here, if you've been here for over 5 years, man, I mean, I just feel like you shouldn't be messing with those people. And if you're going to deport people, it needs to be done the right way, okay? You cannot just deport people. They're talking about taking these people, putting them inside of these El Salvador camps and all this other stuff. You can't just do that. I
Mm.
mean, like, there needs to be the rule of law needs to be held up here. That's how I feel about it.
Uh,
But I don't know. What do you think
let
about
me
it?
let me okay. So let me touch on a
Because
little
I feel
bit
like
about
they're just doing
what you say
whatever.
about just
You
grab
can't just
people.
do whatever.
So I'm reading this. This is a 9 minute update. This is from the sources AP, which I read earlier. So this is
Okay.
from AP, and you can pull it up yourself online and read it. So from AP, 9 minute ago update said National Guard troops temporarily have detained civilians in Los Angeles. So the commander in charge says the civilians were quickly turned over to law enforcement. Major General Scott Sherman also said about 500 of the National Guard troops have been trained so far to accompany agents on immigration operations. Photos of Guard members providing security for the agents have already been circulated by immigration officials. Sherman is commander of the Task Force 51, which is overseeing the more than 4,000 Guard troops and 700 Marines who have been deployed to Los Angeles to provide security during the protests.
Yeah.
So, do you think it's fair for him to deploy the National Guard and Marines? Or, well, only thing Marines are doing is just securing federal buildings.
I just think that if he has the power to do that, he can, right? Obviously, um, and I think he does have the power to do that.
But,
So,
but hold on,
but do
right?
I
But
think it's fair that he's doing that?
But do you
No,
think he should overstep the governor? Because normally the governor is the
I
one
don't
who
think I
calls a
don't
militia
I don't
for
think
the
he
National
I
Guard.
don't think he should overstep the governor. But yeah, I mean this is kind of a gray area. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Um, I mean, yeah, I think it's messed up.
Yeah,
I get it. You trying to establish order. Cause it seemed like the police they were throwing things. You saw the videos, but they were throwing things off the bridge and
yeah,
tearing up their cars and things like that. I get it. You trying to establish order, but also too, maybe he should have consulted with the governor, Gavin Newsom,
yeah.
and they could come together and devise a plan and see how. But because Gavin Newsom, they are suing the Trump's administration.
Hmm.
So they have a lot. They're doing a I guess what is it, a civil lawsuit
Yeah,
against the Trump administration for, I guess they looking at it as an overstep. He's undermining his authority, right? And then also the mayor of Los Angeles too. She's on board with Gavin Newsom as well. So that's Karen Bass. So that's why they have a curfew now established. But maybe he should have talked with the governor. But then at the same time, Trump does what he want to do. He's not
yeah. That's the
bipartisan.
problem.
That's the downfall, and that's it. When you have Congress and you have the Supreme Court, now instead of a president, we almost have a king to
Hmm.
some degree, and the only ones who can really stop him is the judicial system and then Congress. But if they don't step in, we We pretty much got a king. We don't have a president.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of people have been saying that black people shouldn't be stepping in to help with what's going on with the Hispanics?
Uh huh.
Okay, because there were so many Latinos who voted for Trump in this previous election. What do you say to the people who say that we shouldn't, basically help these guys out in their fight against ICE?
Honestly, I kind of see how some blacks feel because you got to realize a lot of blacks feel slighted when they
Okay.
voted for Donald Trump. They didn't stand with the black community who didn't vote for, well, majority of black community, because let's just be honest, some blacks, and I know some person who did vote for Donald Trump, and
Yeah.
and if you did, then that's fine. Obviously it fits the criteria of your life and what you want, what you see for yourself. You voted your interest, and that's anybody who voted for him, that's your preference.
What about the
But
Latinos?
if Latinos vote for him too, that's also their preference. But at the
Thank
same
you for the
time,
likes. Thank you for the likes.
you got to realize too, but by doing so, you're voting against the interests of, your own people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because like they were saying, a lot of Cubans and a lot of, and some, I guess some Venezuelans, but definitely a lot of Cubans voted for Donald Trump. I don't know far as how
Double
much,
trouble. Thank you for the
I don't know how
likes.
much far as how many Mexicans, but they lump it overall as Latinos overall voted for him. So
Yeah.
you voted against your interests, right? So
Right.
then it's now. So I understand why some blacks say now you want us to come and get in a fight with you, but then yet you voted this way. And then there's a lot of Latinos who didn't vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand on both sides. You may have a group of Latino friends who didn't vote for Donald Trump, so you want to stand with them and help them with the fight. But at the same time, if you go to Miami, where you see a lot of Cubans who definitely say, "Oh, I know black," you know what I'm saying, which is true.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Then you don't want to stand with them. You know what I'm saying? Some of them
Yeah.
are getting deported as well.
Well,
You
my
know.
rebuttal to that is that as a person who grew up in LA, born and raised Los Angeles, okay, I know tons of Hispanic people, both on both sides, legal, non-legal, like illegal. I mean, and so like from what I've seen is that I've never had a problem with Hispanics. There's a little bit of like the stuff with the gangs, like there's a little bit of strife there,
Mm.
but the people in LA are not the people in Florida, okay? The Hispanics in LA are different from the Hispanics in Florida that voted for Trump, okay? The and so for them, California, majority voted for the Democrats. Okay, for them, we have to stand up for those guys, and this is where all the action is happening. It's happening in LA. Okay, these are the very people who were the allies and who did vote, for the right side and who were on the right side of history. So I feel like that argument of they didn't vote with us and blah 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 has no merit with these particular people. Okay, these are the people who would stand with us, and I just think that it's a trend now to just act like all nonchalant and just be like whatever. But what's going to happen when things happen? Things are turned on the black people. Are we not going to need our allies? You know what I mean? Are we not going to need the help of the Hispanics? Are we not going to need the help of some of these other groups? Yes, we're going to need the help of those people. And so, right now, when I see us not supporting these people, to me, I mean, when it's time for us to have support, it's going to be scary because I don't think anybody's going to actually support us. And so I don't like this line, this, invisible line in the sand that people are drawing right now, you know, not supporting the Hispanics.
So let me ask you
So,
something. So in the
and especially
past,
these people, these are people from LA, man.
hey, so
California voted overwhelmingly
in,
for
hey,
the blue.
in the past when
So
blacks were fighting for civil rights and things like that, did we have a lot of help from other communities? I'm just asking.
back then we probably didn't because there probably wasn't as much as it is now. I mean, this is a growing population of people. And so like you can't look at it like that, you know? Like I mean, I I look at it like right now, okay? And just because some people in Florida voted a certain way doesn't mean that you have to bring down the whole group of people.
So you think no
So I
Hispanics?
stand with my people from LA.
You think
I
no
stand with
no
them.
Hispanics
I
in
don't care
LA
what
voted for
anybody
Donald Trump?
says. I don't care what anybody comes out here talking mess. All right.
So
I stand with
answer the
the people from
question.
California.
Answer
Go
the
ahead. What's
question.
the question?
Do you think any Hispanics in LA voted for Donald Trump? I don't know. I'm
Very
asking.
few, bro. Very
Well, I'm
few.
sure it's few, but I'm just
California
saying.
is overwhelmingly blue. The people, the Hispanics that voted for Trump are in Florida. I promise you.
I know that.
I promise you that.
Florida, and I
So
think actually in other parts of the South as well.
yeah, I mean,
Definitely other parts of the
I
South.
just think that it's important for us to just call out the truth, which is that when it's time for us to, you know, have our time, okay, we're going to need support, and so we need to support these people. Another thing that a lot of people aren't talking about is that this is what Trump wants. This is what the government wants. They want to isolate, okay? They want to isolate a group. And guess what? A lot of people are going along with that. If you isolate a group, if you isolate these groups, if people aren't together, then you can start taking them off easy. Okay. If you don't have the support of multiple people coming and helping you, it's going to be easy for them later to just start knocking people off. Yep. We're going to take out this group. We're going to take out that group. We're going to take out this group. It's making
So
it easier.
you think
So
you think Make America Great Again is getting rid of black and brown majority?
no, I don't believe in all that.
You don't
But
believe in
I
all
know a
that?
lot of people that do believe in that. What I do know is that us not supporting these people in their time of need is going to come back on us.
Because the reason why I
So the
say that,
people who are coming out here talking about they ain't going to support these people because they didn't
listen,
support us. I
now
mean, like
the reason why I say that now, the only
y'all got to recognize what you're
so
doing
far
here.
the only
So
immigrants I've seen that got a pass from this administration
thank you for the follow.
were white South Africans.